Hey there everyone, this is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the Nautilus Drydocks.com. Got another completed boat to share with you. This is a funky looking boat. I'm excited to share it with you. So the odd-looking boat that you see before me right now is a World War I era submarine that the British built from 1917 to 1919. There are only about 12 of them made, but it's an important boat because it was the first one that really employed modern, streamlined shape with the specific purpose of hunting and killing enemy submarines. This is the British R-class submarine. So these R-class submarines were not huge boats. They're about 163 feet in overall length, which means they weren't exceptionally large. But like I said, they were specifically designed for submerged operation, and as such, they were actually significantly faster submerged than they were surfaced, which was much different than the traditional submarines of the era. This particular boat would do about 9.5 knots surfaced, but on its 1,200 horsepower electric motors, when it's submerged, it would do up to 14 knots, which was pretty darn fast for back then. It was actually the fastest submarine in the world until 1938, when the Japanese experimental submarine came out. So an important submarine, and you can see from the design language a lot of modern takes on the design that make it far more streamlined and effective. Now, all that said, in practical application from historical accounts, this boat was exceptionally hard to control when submerged and did not have exceptionally good seakeeping performance when surfaced. So somewhat problematic, but the design methodology is sound. It's an important boat. It is a cool looking boat, and it makes an awesome RC submarine. Okay, let's talk about this specific boat. The hull is manufactured by a company called OTW out of the UK. This boat is about 60 inches long in overall length. It's a nice size. Powered by an OTW dive module, controlled by a 75 megahertz low frequency radio, which was stipulated by the new owner. Power comes from this waterproof nickel metal hydride battery pack, 12 volts, 5 amps, gives it lots and lots of runtime. Let me show you how we go about installing the watertight cylinder in the boat. All right, hey, top-down view, really cool. The first thing that we want to do is unclip this forward antenna here. 2 bolts, one here and one in the stern that you can't see, but there's a bolt here and a bolt here. Once that's done, the entire hull basically lifts up and slips out, and we can set the hull aside right here like that. Now we are looking at the interior of the boat. Just in frame here, you can see the connections for the rear control surfaces as well as the main drive shaft. And then looking forward, you can see the forward dive planes right here. So in order to get ready, basically what we're going to start out doing is we're going to slip our battery pack in. We're going to feed the waterproof connector through, push this forward, and then pull it back tight against this bulkhead. And now we've got our connector right next to the dive plane connection right there. After the battery is in place, we need to slip this piece of flotation foam in place. So just make sure our linkage is out of the way. And this slips in just like this, all the way forward, nestles in, goes basically even with the end of that bulkhead there. And then our bow plane linkage sits just like that. We'll grab our cylinder, drop it in place straight down. Now that is all nestled in place. We're going to take this rubber O-ring, slip it over the cylinder, and that's going to lock it in place. Forward linkage, magnetic linkage, snaps into place just like that. rear connections snap into place just like that. And now the rear prop shaft basically just slides forward into this universal joint all the way until it seats, and you tighten down that set screw. Cylinder is in place, ready to go. Now that the cylinder is in place, we can go ahead and test the functions on the bench, as we are going to want to do before every single trip to the pond. First thing we do is turn on our transmitter. We've got good voltage there. I'm gonna connect. I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. There we go. Did it. All right. That's all in place. So hey, let's start at the front here. We've got our forward dive planes on the vertical right stick. So you can see those in operation. Moving in the back, we've got our ballast control, and that's on the back switch here, channel 5. You got up and down, up surfaces and down submerges. So listen for the pump. There we go. And it won't try and surface because the probes are out of the water and they don't allow the pump to kick in. Going to the back, we've got our rudders and our stern plane override. Those stern planes, by the way, are of course on a pitch controller, so you can see those in operation there. And then the last thing, of course, is our throttle. Nice and smooth, forward and reverse. So those are all of the core functions of the boat. Of course, the only thing left to do now, disconnect the power, pop the top on, bring it to the pond, and you will be ready to go. So there you go. There's an overview of the internal workings of this R-class submarine. Of course, all of you are very interested in knowing how it performed at the pond, and I'm going to show that to you here in just a minute. But my impressions, actually, the boat moves along really, really well. You can really tell that that streamlined shape allows it to build up a lot of velocity under the water. The neat thing about this as well, the stern is so low that the prop really doesn't like to suck air from the surface at full throttle, which is really unusual for a single screwed boat. If you've got one yourself, you know what I'm talking about. So you can actually get on the throttle fairly well without having to worry about pulling the air in. In reverse, however, it'll pull the air and you'll lose your rear thrust as soon as that air surrounds the propeller. Turning performance is actually quite good. One of the things that the previous owner of this boat did, he swapped out the stock rudders, which are down here, these little shark fins down here, for something that is a little bit oversized. And as a result, actually the boat turns fairly well, especially considering the placement of the rudders, which is actually quite a ways in from the stern, and the fact that they're so far removed from the propeller. So that was a pleasant surprise as well. Excellent response to pitch and yaw inputs. The stern planes are actually really effective, and so are the forward planes. Again, as you will see, this particular boat managed to hold periscope depth impeccably. We'll show you that footage here in a moment, but basically rock steady periscope depth the entire time. You'll notice that I did not fully dive the boat. Intentional. It's not that the boat won't do it. It'd be happy to go all the way down to the bottom if you want it to, but because the water was so murky and dark and we're not entirely sure what's on the bottom, I kept it at periscope depth. I highly recommend you do the same with yours. With that, let's swap out our footage to the operational movie of the boat at the pond so you can see it in operation. I will leave you with that. My name is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDrydocks.com. Please, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and like. It helps me out a lot. Questions and comments, I'd love to hear from you. Bob at NautilusDrydocks.com. I'll leave you with that, and we'll catch you next time.